we are live, serving you a serious look. If you're not watching the YouTube video, you're truly missing out on what's happening right now. You know, it's not that bad. It looked a lot worse in the mirror. It's one of those things that it looks good head on and the camera is like capturing it nicely, but you know, if you were to see me from the back, you'd be like a little bit concerned about my hair growth and stuff. Yeah, it's funny. I have this image in my mind of like who I am with my fashion, and I have a very specific color palette and these beautiful pieces of clothing, and especially beautiful pieces that I've collected over the past couple of months in traveling, just like amazing linen, natural pieces from these beautiful designers. And I just throw on a sweatshirt every single day and like stay in my pajama pants. So like, I don't know who I am or what I'm doing by having all of those things in my closet. I do imagine myself as like throwing on my linen jumpsuit and taking my woven bag to the farmer's market and like wearing this beautiful straw hat, and then I just end up wearing like bike shorts and a Target sweatshirt that has a chocolate stain on it. And it's just kind of like, it's just kind of who I am. Like I can't, no matter how nice I make my closet, no matter how many beautiful things I fill my closet with, I'm just gonna be me, you know? So we've got like the messy bun, hair up, blue light glasses on, and I don't even need glasses. I have perfect vision. I just wear the glasses. Anyway, enough outing myself. We are here today to talk about projectors, surprise, and specifically something that I woke up thinking about this morning because I'm on a roll right now. I'm really on a roll of thinking about and talking about projectors, and I have felt like over the past couple of weeks, I've really stepped into this different feeling with my energy where I'm truly understanding myself on this deep embodied level, but then I'm also like acting as this distant observer, watching myself in action of my own life. And all of these things are clicking into place, and life is unfolding for me in a way that I'm super happy about. Like I'm really just content and having a good time with how life is unfolding, and I'm waking up every single day super excited to create, and then I'm going to bed feeling super satisfied that I spent my whole entire day talking. And I remember a couple of months ago, I'm gonna say it was in the fall, I had a lot of responsibilities on my plate that were definitely not in total alignment with the ideal life that I would craft for myself. So a lot of times, I would say every like couple of weeks, every month, I might sit down and either say this out loud, talk it out with a friend, write it down in my journal. I'm like, in a perfect world, what does my life look like? How do I spend my days? How do I spend my energy? Where am I going? Who am I with? Am I exploring? Am I traveling? Like, what am I doing? And I try to check in with myself often because I am always changing. And one thing that stays super consistent is that it's always like, in business, I am paid X amount of money to literally just talk. If only the only thing on my task list, or let's just say if 80% of my responsibilities in my business was talking, and then the other 20% was on miscellaneous tasks that you just have to do as a business owner, that to me is success by my own definition. And now I'm in this place where I've really allowed myself to lean into that, and suddenly I'm looking around and I'm like, oh, that's what I'm doing. And it feels so good. So I was really spot on with that being something that I wanted, and I'm feeling really good about it. But yeah, you know, what's interesting is that things can be going great on paper. And what I mean by that is maybe you're making the amount of money that you need to cover all your bills and perhaps beyond. And you have really great friends and you feel like things are looking up, or like wherever you are, especially when things I find are like positive and really working, there can be this element of looking around and going, like, is there something else? Like, am I supposed to be going for something else, doing something else? Is it enough? You know, I don't want to zone in on like something specific because everyone's in a different position, but there seems to always be this element with me of like, okay, is this it? Like, is this what it is? And that tells me that one, like I'm not fully utilizing my energy in the most aligned way. And two, that there's a reframe that's needed, because I can't spend my whole entire existence just wishing for things to be better. That would be a very unsatisfactory life to live, right? So at some point we have to look at ourselves and go, okay, everything's going really well. If it feels good, let's learn kind of how to sit in the feeling goodness of it, right? Like, how do you sit in the contentment when you actually aren't seeking any information or insight from anything else around you, and you're just like, I need to learn how to actually live and enjoy my life because I'm at this place that I've wanted to be for years, and now I get to enjoy it? Oh, okay, that means that I haven't really worked on enjoying along the way, you know? And we all are on our different journeys, so it's like not to say that you should do it this way and not that way. Like, this is just a space that I'm in right now. I was thinking a lot about projector recognition because obviously this isn't just going to be a ramble about my life. I want to talk about projector recognition and something that really clicked into place recently, which is that more is not better when it comes to recognition for projectors. And I think there's a little bit of a myth that keeps projectors from thinking that they're actually like doing well or receiving recognition, because there might be a little bit of a miscommunication or a lost in translation kind of thing where recognition means that you are seen by everyone. Like, everyone sees you, everyone understands you, everyone respects you, everyone loves you, and you're not doing it right until you've convinced everyone through your energetic expression that you're the best, that like these are all the reasons why you should like me or want what I have or this or that. This is coming from a person who spent way too many years trying to shapeshift into someone that other people would like. So I did this, and I was an expert at doing this in relationship. Like, I could teach you how to morph yourself into any type of person in order to be liked by a partner. I did this really well with guys. It's like, okay, cool. He likes sports. Like, what's the criteria? Like, he likes sports. Okay, he likes this. Okay, he talks this way. Okay, he does this. Okay, he does that. Yep, I know exactly who to become. I know exactly who to be seen and recognized by him. Now, was that satisfaction? Did that feeling, was that recognition good? You know, like, was that recognition something that I was really seeking? I was more seeking validation. I was more seeking love. You know, there's all of these deeper things that of course I go into in therapy about why I was doing things the way I was doing things. But I think if you just want to look at it from the energetic standpoint, is because I wasn't being recognized maybe growing up for just being myself, but rather I was being recognized for what I was doing, what I was accomplishing, I thought that I needed to morph and change and shift in order to receive love from others. So naturally, that's what I did. And this really isn't so much about going back in time and rehashing stories of ways I've morphed myself into like a sports loving person for some stupid guy, but just really understanding that projectors, more is not better. You are not rewarded, and your happiness does not come from more recognition. It's not about the more recognition I receive, the more on track I am. The more people who see me, the better off I am. As a projector, like energetically speaking, we've talked so much about the importance of you being selective, of you being really, really selective and careful about where and what you're spending your energy on. Crafting your environment in a way where you feel like every single thing that you're doing, or let's say at least 80% of what you're doing, is a correct use of your energy, right? Because there's always going to be balance. We might not always get 100% of alignment every single day of our lives. And it's really important for you to understand that recognition is not something that just grows and grows and grows and grows as you become more aligned. Like, of course, you're going to feel more seen, but it's really more about quality over quantity when it comes to recognition. So I've been in positions over the past couple of months, I'll say, where I feel like no one actually sees the real me, except there's like 3 people who see me so deeply, who I know are just a Voxer or a phone call or a down the hall away, you know? And those are things that I've really learned to rely on, are the people who consistently across time, no matter what it is that I'm doing, see me for me rather than seeing and recognizing and celebrating me for my accomplishments and what I'm doing. And it's important to collect those people in your life, because when it comes to recognition, it's not about just trying and doing and going and hustling and pushing until you're rewarded or celebrated for the accomplishment or for the thing that you create. It's about looking around at your life and really seeing if there are people, and I really hope and I really believe that there has to be at least one person out there for every single person who sees them. You know, like I really do believe that if you're a projector, even if you're not, if you think, oh my gosh, I have no one, there's absolutely no one who sees me, then what we want to do is really go within and look at ourselves and work on ourselves, because it's not that no one sees you, it's that you're not recognizing who's seeing you because you can't even see you. So if you can't see you, then you have no way of seeing who's seeing you, you know? Are you still following? So it's really a lot less about, okay, I created this class and now everyone loves it and I'm getting all of the recognition for it and that's it. Like I did it. I am a success. That is a little tiny portion of it, right? The result of creating an alignment as a projector is receiving recognition. That means people responding to your creations with feedback, with praise, with thank yous, with emotional responses, whatever it might be. But I want you to really fully understand that those are the short-lived bursts of recognition that come as a result of doing something in alignment. Those are beautiful experiences, but they don't last forever, you know? I want to give the example of myself and my relationship on Instagram because when I first started my account in 2018, and then really got into human design in spring of 2019 and started actually sharing it, my only goal on Instagram was to be popular. My only goal was to grow an account. Of course, I am, I do consider myself to be a pretty good person in general, and I have some really great morals and values, I think, but I want to be liked. Bottom line, I did not feel seen and recognized in my personal life. So where did I go? The fucking internet. Because, why wouldn't we just bare our vulnerable naked souls on the public platform for everyone to see and judge? And that's a great way to receive recognition and fill the big black hole in your heart where you want to just be loved for who you are, right? Like, that's the natural instinct, because we think that we need the validation outside of ourselves. So of course, why wouldn't we do that? And so I'm on Instagram, and my whole entire goal is to receive recognition. I want to be celebrated, and I want people to message me and tell me that their lives have changed since listening and watching and absorbing my content, and all of those natural things that we just want because we're funny humans. And what was interesting is I would find that I got myself caught up in this cycle of getting high off of short-term, like short bursts of recognition. So if I were to record an Instagram story or put up a post or an IGTV video, I was getting high off of likes and comments and popularity. And like, I'm speaking as if it still doesn't pass through my body. I just have a different relationship with it now because I've found recognition and validation from within rather than seeking it outside of me. But this was really my journey. Is I wanted to grow an account, and I knew how to create things and when. I knew the algorithm, and I could get to 10K so I could get people to swipe up. And then it got tiring because I felt like I was creating just to receive praise, but I really wasn't creating from my heart. I was creating from what I knew people would want to hear in order for it to be liked and celebrated. And it felt like this, as I'm speaking, it was like, if you can imagine my auric field, it felt like just like a hamster wheel kind of hovering on the outside of my auric field, where I'm not allowing anyone to actually see the real and true me, because I know how to create a character outside of myself that will be liked and praised and celebrated for what they can do, because that was the way that I learned that I received love growing up, by doing things, by accomplishing things, by becoming something, by making my parents proud. Like, that's what a lot of people experience. And that was the pattern that I took on. And then when I got to, those 5-figure months that we all want, and got the 10K followers, and I'm like the basic white girl on Instagram, doing my swipe ups and like getting popular because I fit the standardized norm, I'm like, oh, this fucking sucks. Like, I don't want any of this. I want the platform, but I don't want the platform for the reasons why I built it. I want the platform because I want to authentically express my truth, whether there's one person watching or 1 million people watching. It stopped becoming something that I wanted to receive from others and started becoming an actual therapeutic platform for me to express my most authentic self, even in my scariest moments. And, Instagram has been a little bit weird, and like the algorithm has kind of changed, and people don't grow like they did in 2019, and it's all kind of different now. So it was interesting to go through this phase when I did, because I can't imagine having that same relationship with Instagram then or now that I had then, because holy shit, has it changed. And I feel like I really feel for creators now, because I feel like it's a lot more challenging to grow. Like, I've seen people do it their own way, and I've seen people do it very successfully, and they grow and it all just kind of unfolds, but it's not as calculated anymore. Like, you can't really just do it like how we did it in 2019. Like, I don't know, I guess what I'm saying is it was just a lot easier to grow a couple of years ago as opposed to now. And people are also, I think, just like falling off Instagram. Anyway, the whole point isn't to talk about the science of the Instagram algorithm, because I literally have no idea. But I guess what I'm really just trying to say here is that it's so much better to be fully seen by a few than to be partly seen by many. So I thought that having more followers, that having more likes, that having more comments meant that I was going to feel more fulfilled and feel more secure in who I was as a human. But really, the recognition that has shaped me is from the consistent people who have been with me across so many different phases of my life, who, no matter what I'm doing, just see me for who I am. And it's really easy to get caught up in that cycle of looking for the validation and the recognition through the things that we create. But remember that as a projector, if you put too much stake into just feeling seen and recognized for the output, then you're setting yourself up for failure, because projectors do not have access to a consistent means for output. So that means that when nothing is happening and you're in this place where you need deep rest and you need to really recharge, your nervous system is going to be dysregulated because you've attached yourself to output. You've attached yourself to, I am seen when I create. So therefore, when I am stagnant, when I am resting, I am purposeless or I am irrelevant, And look, maybe you don't have this relationship with all of this, but this has been mine, and I just can't imagine that I'm the only person who has been grappling with this one. I feel like I'm at this place now where I'm really starting to see it through a different lens, and I'm like, oh, okay, so when I'm really, really seeking something, it's what this has done is really reframe my relationship with creativity. For me personally, my relationship with Instagram, but just creativity in my business as a whole, in that I don't create to receive recognition. Like, I don't create to receive likes. I don't create to receive comments. I create because it comes from my heart. I don't know how else to describe that. I create because I feel deeply passionate about setting people free from their own patterns and programming and conditioning and belief systems. Like, I create from the core of my being because there's a truth inside of me that wants to be expressed that often goes against the norm. And I feel that part of my being here is to be the expression of that truth, whether it be for 1 million people on a stage or in a one-to-one conversation. So I don't create a hierarchy. There's a truck. This will be in YouTube, but not in the audio. Anyway, I don't create like a hierarchy for, okay, well, when there's 1,000 people watching me or 1,000 people signed up for the class, that's better than 5 people, So it's really, like I said, it's less about quantity and more about quality. So when you're thinking about yourself and your energy as a projector, I really encourage you to put less of a focus on how many people saw this? How many people liked it? How many people signed up? How many people can I help? Versus this one person received so much value and so much insight and such a massive transformation from this thing I created. You know? Like, of course, at the end of the day, a result of you showing up and serving and expressing from your heart is going to be attracting and magnetizing more people towards you. But be really careful, because, you know, a lot of people are just exactly what the word is, especially on Instagram, we call them followers for a reason. There's very little people. There's a lot less of a percentage of people who are actually there because they are doing this stuff for themselves. Like some people are just followers. Some people are not ready to hear. Some people are just following because some, you know, well-known person on Instagram reshared me. Like, there's a lot of people who aren't actually engagers, who aren't actually the absorbers. They're not actually the cheerleaders and the fans. They're just numbers. They're just ghost people who aren't even there, who aren't even looking. I don't even show up on their feed. The number means absolutely nothing to your worth and value. It means absolutely nothing. Would I freak out if I woke up tomorrow and had 0 Instagram followers and my account had been hacked? Hell yeah. But would I think that means that I've lost all of my value and worth and I am now meaningless and have no one to speak to? Hell no. I would still show up in the exact way that I show up. I mean, yeah, I'd be a little bit, you know, it'd be a little bit jarring, but it wouldn't impact my worth. It wouldn't impact my belief about myself. I don't put that much stake in other people's opinions and beliefs and relationship to me and my energy. That's just not something that is even worth doing. So recognition is not better if more people like you, if more people recognize you. We need to disengage ourselves from the popularity contest. You know, it has nothing to do with more. I guarantee that there are projectors out there who are happily, you know, cohabitating with their little ecosystem where they are so fully seen, embraced, and respected in their correct environment, and you never will hear from or know about them because they're so successful in that space that they are thriving and they don't need anything else, you know? As a projector, you're not here to spread yourself so thin across so many different people and places and responsibilities. Your selectivity is actually what makes you more magnetic and alluring. So, yeah. I mean, I think that's like a really cool reframe. So, practicality, like, what can we do now? Look at your life. Look at who's in it. Look at who has stayed consistent throughout your different ages and stages and phases. Who sees you? Who really sees you? It's better to be fully seen by a few than partly seen by many. Just trust me, it's not worth it to put all of your stake in people who don't even know you. The first step is seeing yourself and recognizing yourself and showing up for you, and then getting really clear on who is in your circle, who is in your little projector ecosystem. You only want to fill your ecosystem. What I mean by that is just like your environment. I'm just using that word for some reason. With people who totally, fully see, respect, and recognize you. That's what it's all about. So, yeah, more isn't better. Quality over quantity. You have a limited amount of energy for a reason, and it's because it's not meant to be spent on caring about the opinions of a million people. It's meant to be spent on those who fully see you. And I mean fully see you. And you will be able to separate those people you'll be able to separate those people from the fake followers and, the bullshit. Like, you're a bullshit detector. You're a projector. It's a no-brainer. You know how to do this. It's just the challenge is sometimes actually weeding out those who don't see you, because that's scary. And the short-term hit of being kind of seen or seen for a short amount of time does give us a little bit of something, but it's not worth that feeling when you can give yourself fully to a few people who meet you with an embrace that brings tears to your eyes. I'd rather have that sometimes than little hits of bullshit recognition sometimes. Like, all the time, I mean, Anyway, that's your quick little reframe that more is not better, and that you are not rewarded for more recognition, and that you are not more qualified if you have more recognition. It's all just a game. So play it the way you were designed to. Thank you so much for joining me during this episode. I feel like we just listened to it together because I just finished listening to it to record this outro. So I really appreciate you tuning in today and being a fan and follower of the podcast. If you haven't already, I would love for you to subscribe, and then bonus points if you rate and review the podcast. That is how we spread the word and get it out there. And especially over anything else, please share this with projectors you love. We need more projectors out there who understand themselves so deeply so that they can step into the role as leaders and guides. I really feel passionate about this, and I really believe that these types of communities and these types of conversations are going to change the way we understand and support projectors, and also change the way we are empowered by our own energy, because we are meant to be empowered. We are meant to be excited. We are meant to be confident. We are meant to feel like, yes, I get to be a projector. Not, oh, I'm a projector and now I have to be all sensitive and wait for the invitation and bullshit, right? That's what we're here to reframe, so that we can have projectors who do not feel powerless to the energetics that they were given. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I would love to chat with you over on Instagram about your takeaways and impressions from this episode. So if we are not friends already over there, you can follow me at Alex Cantone, and I will always respond to DMs, specifically those that are pertained to the podcast, because it's my favorite thing to talk about. It's my favorite thing to hear about. I love you, projectors, and I will talk to you next time.